Welcome to Don't Sweat It, the podcast, the place where men drop the mask and speak their truth.
Sweat stands for speak with emotion and trust, because real strength starts with real conversations.
We're diving deep into mental health, addiction, sobriety, and all the emotions we're told to bury.
No sugarcoating, no tough guy act, just raw stories and unfiltered chats.
So lean in, open up, and let's do this together.
Because, gentlemen, it's time to sweat it out.
Go.
Hello.
Hello, brother.
Here we are again.
No guest again.
No guests today.
Yeah, no guest again, no guest today.
But it gives us a chance to have a little chat, doesn't it, and catch up.
No people like that one.
So, Russell, what have you been up to?
A lot, bruv. It's been busy. It's been, life is good, yeah, but also extremely hard and fucking difficult at the same time. Like, it's one of them things, mate. What about you? I'll go into it, but I want to know about how things. We ain't seen each other since the last pod, so.
No, there's just a lot of work at the minute. I've given myself to faith as well now, so I'm in the church.
I thought you was with Sophie.
And I'm just writing new material now at the minute and getting stuff lined up. I've took a step back from the scene as a whole because I want to concentrate on different avenues now. But yeah, I'm content. I'm happy.
Good. And it ain't the last time I see you weren't last pod. It was when you got baptised.
Yeah,
that was when I came to the baptism.
That was a good day.
Yeah.
We had.
Did you realise you was going to get fully dunked under the water in that cold weather as well?
No. And,
I see everyone getting it. I was like, nah. If that was me, I'd be like,
yeah, it was cold.
Yeah, I could tell, mate.
It didn't feel cold when I got dunked. It was the standing around
afterwards.
Yeah,
always the way. Have you ever been? I don't know. Have you ever been like thrown in a pool when you was on holiday or anything?
Fully clothed. That's exactly
even
what it was like.
Even in the warm, like you still feel it. A little gust of wind and that, and you're gone.
The guy, obviously, Pastor Anderson and Nick, who dunked me. I remember Nick shouted out. He went, "This is going to take about 20 minutes." He went, "We're going to have to keep him in the water a little bit longer."
Why?
That's what he said. But yeah, it was a good day. The party was all right as well. I had MC Fun come down.
Yeah, mate.
And Swady.
See, we came to that.
Yeah.
But got new ear as well. My 6-month-old. I didn't intend it to be that loud there, mate. And I was like, nah, I think didn't bring earmuffs or nothing. I was like,
oh, it was a mad setup. It was like the bouncy castle, kids jumping up and down,
and MC nothing vibes though, mate. That's what it give me.
And he had MC Fun at MCing in the background going Sunday service.
Mate, it was good though. Yeah, it was good. So congratulations, mate. Welcome to the world of religion.
There's something I do want to talk about. I remember you reached out, I think it was like a couple of weeks ago, and you was talking about, because for people that don't know, by the way, Russell has took the brave step in starting his own company. Also, he's got 2 children that are very young, and you've just been against it lately, haven't you? And I remember, obviously, you work from home, which sounds like heaven to someone who has to do the normal 9 to 5. Yeah. But I thought it would be, because I'd be like, that'd be wicked. You can sit around in your pants all day and do that. But it don't work like that, does it?
Nah, and there's a lot behind it that makes you feel isolated. Like, there's a lot to be said, yeah. We're getting up in the morning, going out, being on a busy train, being around people, going to an office or going to a site, seeing people having normal conversations, seeing what people got up to, telling people what you got up to. There's a stark contrast to that, to waking up in the morning, which to me sounded like bliss, and it still does. Don't get me wrong, it's still got its perks, right? So I can get up in the morning, I can do what I need to do, and I ain't got to be on like a time to get to train at this time or get to work for this time. My day starts a lot earlier than if I was working for somebody else anyway. I mean, I'm usually in front of that laptop about 7:30 in the morning, but I'm working from my home office, which doubles up as one of our spare bedrooms. Fucking isolated, mate. I feel very isolated. And it dawned on me when I reached out, when I sent you the message, or I sent it into the group chat, didn't I? And I said, I walked in there that morning and was like, it's another day doing this. And it just made me realise how isolating it actually is. And not just that, because of, I am up against it. It's terrifying. Amy's on mat leave. All the finances are down on me. And I haven't got that safety net of, okay, I've got a couple of weeks and I'll get paid again, or a couple of days and I'll get paid again.
It must be scary.
Terrifying.
But the thing is, you've took the plunge to do it, and it will pay off. And there's a lot of people that are probably going to be watching this can relate to this as well, that have started up their own businesses and stuff. And it is fucking scary, man.
I was only talking to Amy this morning about it, mate, about our finances and things. And I said to her, like, she said, "What do you want for dinner?" I said, "So I'll just eat some anxiety and depression." But it was she said as a joke with an element of truth behind it, because it is an anxious time. There isn't. I've got things pipelined up. I've got money in the bank, and I've made money through the business, but is it enough to sustain me until the next sort of money comes in? That's what it is. It's that startup period of, you know, it's feast or famine. That's what it is. It's feast or famine. So 1 minute I'm staring down the barrel of you know, a blank couple of months, and I'm like, because everything what I do. So anyone that don't know, I run a recruitment business. I've done recruitment for a vast majority of my life.
The best damn recruitment business in the country, by the way. Just might add that.
Yeah, we're doing all right. No, we are doing all right.
Tell somebody about it.
But yeah, if you want, I mean, the beauty of being my own boss and doing things how I want is I don't have to stick to a certain niche. I don't have to stick to a certain area. So I'm covering law and legal recruitment because that's what I've done the best in before, and I understand it quite well. But the problem behind that is it's also everyone's on a 3-month notice. So say, put it this way, say I'll pick up a job with a client, they want to get somebody that's a solicitor that's got 5 years post-qualification experience and does like wills and probate law, yeah, which is somebody that will, when you die, you get your will read and who does your wills and stuff. Say, for instance, that I'll go out and I'll find somebody, but they'll be on a 3-month notice. So not only do I have to find them, make sure that they are interested in a role, make sure the geographical region works well, make sure they can get there and all that stuff. They've got to go for an interview. It'll probably be like a 2-3 stage interview process, which will take about a month all in. They get an offer. If they accept the offer, if it's good enough, everything else, they put their notice in. It's 3 months. So everything I'm doing now, say, for instance, this is the 1st November, everything I'm doing now, if I picked up a job on Monday and I did all this, that person ain't starting until March. You see what I mean by the length of time?
Yeah.
Right? I know this is a bit of a long... I'm not going to go into work, but this gives you a bit of gravity about why it's a feast or famine sort of setup.
What's your biggest worry with it all? Like, when it comes... is it that not... You feel like you're not going to provide for the... Is it obviously the bills are getting paid?
Yeah.
There's food on the table.
Yeah.
That's...
For the minute.
For the minute. Is that how you're sort of living month to month sort of thing at the minute?
Yeah, at the minute. But, again, because it's feast or famine, because of all the work I'm doing now, I could end up making 60 grand in 1 month.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But so it is, at this startup stage, it is very much like
and you haven't got that security of waiting, so I'll get paid at the end of the month.
Yeah. But the difference is, like, I do a deal for 25 grand, for instance. Before I was working for somebody else, I was getting 2.5 grand base salary, and I would have got commission on that 25 grand, which might be 10-15%. So say another 2.5 grand. After all that, after tax, I'm getting 3.5 grand a month or something. That's great. I'm doing that work, and that's consistent. And you can live a life on that. But am I gonna really get ahead doing that? And if I do 3 or 4 deals and I make 80 grand for the company, I'm only seeing about 10 grand of that, and it seems like a lot of money. But when you take it back, I've done this for years. When you take it back and go, Jesus, I made 580 grand for somebody last year, and I saw about 85 of that.
Yeah, when you break it down and you look at it like that, that's
what
crazy.
made me take that. When Amy had our second son, I decided to take that leap and just do it, because I thought to myself, yes, it's going to be hard initially, but once that initial period is done and it's consistent, and I start doing, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 grand months consistently, that's when life becomes a lot better and I can diversify a little bit. So for me, I'm still in that fight or flight mode. I'm very much in a fight or flight mode, but it's the way things have to go. And I'm sure people watching this will have done the same thing and set up their own business and stuff. But this is a little bit different because it's not like I do work for a client and then I get paid straight away. Like, it's a long process. Everything's quite a long game.
So working from home as well, it would be the case of, like, you're still up early in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like you're a day in the office, isn't it? Yeah. Pretty much.
I work harder.
So with your morning routine, like, what do you do for your morning routine? And let's not go with the cliches, because I know you've done them as well. 5 a.m, 4 a.m, fucking ice bath.
No, but this is what I was doing, right? And the only reason this has stopped is because my oldest son's 2.5. We moved him into the big boy bed. Yeah. So because we needed the cot.
The big boy bed.
So we've got him a floor bed. It's a double bed, so that when either one of us gets up with him in the night, usually it's Amy. So I'm not going to give too much. Like, I do it all the time, but sometimes I do get up with him. But most of the time it's Amy. She ain't got to sleep on the floor. She'll sleep in the bed with him. But we've moved them both into the same room. But Aston will get up in the middle of the night. and it'll come in and it's really disturbed. So basically what my routine was, I was waking up at about 4:15, 4:30, and I was getting in the gym with my good mate Rick. Big up Rick, I know you'll see this. And I was hitting the gym with him, and I was getting out about 6:30, something like that, and I was going home taking the dog for a walk around my area, and I was getting done about 7:30. I was having a quick shower, getting ready, and I was starting my day about 8:15. But I've changed that now because if I can't get to the gym in the morning because my sleep pattern's all over the place, I will try and get it back, but sleep pattern's been screwed. So
I find it's quite hard to once you come out of that routine of getting up in the morning and smashing out the gym. Once you step back from it a little bit, it's like I don't know if it's an anxiety thing, if it's I don't know what it is, but it's like there's almost like a fear.
Barrier
is
or
it?
something.
Yeah, because obviously, like you're not in that routine, but you can claw it back. Like you will.
Mate, I've done it before. That's what I mean. It's hard to get that routine.
I used to
in the
get up
first place.
every morning and smash the gym out before work. Like, and now I think like if I don't do it after work, I just won't do it. Like I have to go straight from after doing a shift. So if I go home first and sit down, that's it. It's game over.
And that's why I started doing it in the morning because of when. So I used to do it in the evening, and when she had Lincoln, my youngest son, it made the evenings a lot harder. So I stopped going to the night to form a morning routine, and it went hand in hand. I was like, I'll start my day like that. You know, I've already done 2 hard things. Yeah, I've won twice before everyone's even started their day. That's the way I saw it. But it went out the window because of my sleep pattern got screwed up because of the oldest getting in and out of our bedroom of a night and the youngest waking up as well. So we was always, mate, I'm lucky if I get like 4 hours of broken sleep a night. So now what I'm doing is I'm waking up and I'm out of bed by about 6:45, have a coffee, and I live off coffee. So anyone that knows how much of a fiend he used to be.
But he's got a bit of kit in his kitchen as well. It's like
but I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about, you'll know this as an addict.
I just fucking love coffee.
Yeah, but you replace something. You replace something with something else. So if it weren't drugs or alcohol, or when I used to smoke weed daily, I now don't even smoke fags. I don't do any of that. But I'll have 2 double espressos before I even sat down at that laptop. Right, 2 double espressos.
You scumbag.
I'm a right fucking scumbag.
Fucking wrong.
But no, I love it though, mate, because I do get into it.
Yeah.
I really enjoy a nice fresh espresso. But then I have the pod coffees as well, and I'll have like 3 or 4 of them. So before 12 o'clock, I've had like.
Can we just talk about that for a minute? But he's making it sound like it's all casual, yeah. But you've got like certain beans, right? He grinds it a certain way to a
you
certain.
Have to have certain coarseness, a certain weight. I weigh it all out because that's how you pour a good shot of coffee. Like
and I can't lie, it is probably one of the best espressos I've ever had. To be fair,
and you're not gonna get that. Like it ruins. Chain style coffees like Costa or anything, it ruins that. You want to go to the little boutique coffee shops and stuff because they do it all like proper. But anyway, so that's my routine. I have a coffee and then I'll start at 7:30, and I don't really stop for lunch. I might grab myself something to eat if I remember, but I am just glued to that screen. Yeah, glued to that screen on the phone, doing bits, doing this, and then like between 5 and 6. I'll have a bit of food, but I'll get back on the laptop again. We'll do bedtime. We used to do separate bedtime, but now the boys are in together. Amy will do bedtime with both of them, so then I'm back on the laptop.
Right, yeah.
And that is me, mate. I'm like 18 hours a day. I'm doing it.
That's a lot.
There was a guy that I know. He lives in my area. He owns a company called Greyer's Graphics, right? Paul Greyer, his name. He's very successful, extremely successful gentleman. And I reached out to him because when I used to work for Reed, I went on a meeting with him to recruit for him. This was before I went out, and I know I got a bit friendly with him, and we follow each other on socials. And I reached out to him and said, like, you know, what would your advice be? And you know what he told me? He said, be obsessed. He said, obsess over it. It's your business.
Because if you obsess over anything, you're gonna get the most out of it.
So I have been.
But that's quite hot. To be fair, for me personally, if someone told me to obsess over something, I won't obsess over it. Like I don't know what.
But would you if you see what that person's achieved?
Yeah.
You know
that's what I'm saying. That's different because I can see that's what I'm going to get if I obsess over it.
That's what I mean. So I have been doing that, and Amy, God bless her, she's allowing me to do it. She handles the house, and actually now she started to say, can you feed me any stuff so I can go and find people for you? I can do this because Amy's going to get involved. We're going to build the empire together. All right, that's what we're going to do. Yep. But yeah. So I went out and obviously I've done all this, and life is very difficult, mate, but it's scary at the same time because it isn't I'm staring into the abyss. I'm staring into the unknown. I've got so much I need to learn about not only just running a business, but everything, all the little nuances that are involved in keeping the wolves from the door, on not just for the business, but my home as well, because it's always been a joint venture. Like Amy and I, we always put into the joint account, and she still wants to do that. But at the moment, I've told her, no, I want you to be a stay-at-home mum, and that's what you want to do. So I'm putting it out there in the universe that it's going to happen. But it's difficult,
yeah,
mate.
like, but at the end of the day, you've done it, and you like eventually will reap the benefit from it. And I'm proud of you for doing that as well.
Cheers, brother.
Because you. Can I talk about the maternity leave thing? What actually made you want to leave in the first place? When basically, you needed a bit of extra time, didn't you, with maternity when the baby was born?
It was a bit of a traumatic birth.
Yeah.
And she was on a bit of bed rest, and I was on paternity for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I needed a bit more time, but I didn't need more time off. I needed to be at home.
Yeah.
So I needed to work remotely, and they wouldn't allow me to work remotely. They just told me that. I asked them, why do I have to be there? What can't I do at home that I need to be in the office for? And they said, no, just for visibility. No, so there was no leeway. So it was that was the kind of decision that I was like, you know what?
Fuck you.
Yeah, no, not even fuck you. Just, Russ, take a bet on yourself, mate. It's the worst time for me to do it. We just had another son. It was April, sort of May, coming into the summer. Summer's notoriously quiet in recruitment anyway, because everyone goes on holiday, so decision makers ain't around. But I didn't care about that. I just got it. I didn't really realise that would be it. But I didn't care about the fact that we just had a second son and bills and stuff and outgoings were going to go up. I just wanted to get it done, mate. I just wanted to do it because I didn't want to be 40, wondering what if. I didn't want to be 50, wondering what if. I'd like to be 50, going, thank God I made that decision when I was 37.
Yeah.
Because now look at me, multi-millionaire or something. Do you know what I mean?
So you've done
Well,
it.
I hope so anyway.
You've done it now. And for anyone else as well, Russell, when he was speaking about the isolation the other week, he actually wrote into the WhatsApp group that we've got, and it's a fucking wicked group, mate. It really is. It's growing, but it's growing by the day, and
hundreds in there now.
Yeah, and everyone's just sort of posting about what they're going on. There's a lot of talk that goes on, and there's a lot of opening up. And basically, we're just trying to create a safe space for men to come and chat, and for you to do that as well, like because. I wouldn't say you're shut off, but you're quite independent, aren't you, when it comes to things like that? So when I saw that,
I go my own way, didn't I? A lot.
Yeah, but like, and obviously when I saw that, I thought, right, he's obviously needed to talk, and he actually utilised the WhatsApp group for what it's meant to be for, and he got a massive response out of it as well. So for any of you lot that are actually listening to this, and you're not in the WhatsApp group, just follow the link on the Instagram, and it'll take you straight in. It's a great group of lads. I've actually got some voice notes as well from some of the lads.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing.
So we've got some stuff to play as well. With the grind culture, obviously the getting up, grafting, and all that. Obviously, you're talking about having broken sleep and all this. I feel like rest is probably for me. If I don't get my rest in, like I work. I'm up at 5 and I'm at home 6 o'clock, and it's a very
graft though, mate.
It's a very like manual
scaffolding is graft.
Yeah, like and it's and obviously I'm squeezing the gym in as well. But rest is a massive. If I don't get my rest in, I'm not going to give it 110%. So when you're saying your sleep's your broken sleep and that, how are you still functioning on that? Because if I don't get my full. If I say full, I'll go to bed at 12, I'm up at 5 anyway.
But you have a certain amount of minimal sleep you need, which is what I have, and that's usually 5 hours I can function on. Tell you how? Because I've got no choice, mate.
Yeah, and
I've got a picture, I've got 2 screens. One of the screens has got a picture of one of my sons, the other screen's got a picture of the other son as the background, and I shit you not, that is the motivation, that's what keeps me going. I've got a board with all the stuff that I've got going on a whiteboard. I write it all on there, but next to it I've got a pin up, and it's got like, I call it my vision board. It's got all the stuff that I want to try and achieve.
I love that. The car, the house.
Yeah,
I love that.
I've even got like a print off of like bank statements that shows the business doing like millions and stuff. That's what I want to visualize.
Because that's what it's about. It's about seeing what's going on. Like, and do you know, somebody told me a bit of advice before. It was like, don't look at what's ahead of you. Look at what you've done so far.
Yeah.
And that's stuck with me forever. Like, even in terms of scaffolding, it's like, don't look at what's left. Look at what you've done.
You've achieved,
like, do you know what I mean? So that works on every angle pretty much.
And another thing that for me, because of what I do is very much sales based, it's a sales job like recruitment. So it's always incentivized. It's not don't worry about the money. Don't worry about what you need to make. Just concentrate on doing the work. Just concentrate on doing the work well. And if you do all that, then the money will come. So, yeah.
I think like as well, like when obviously how I start my mornings pretty much, I wake up, obviously, and then I'll get into the work van, and then I'll do my morning prayers, my daily readings, and then I'll reach out to a couple of the others in the WhatsApp groups, and then I think what keeps me motivated is obviously I'll post something motivational in the WhatsApp group for Sweat. And then I'll get on the stories and stuff as well.
You're really consistent with it,
but the thing is,
I love that.
What people don't realise is, like, they see me sitting there, like quite being unsociable in the morning, like, headphones on doing it, but it's actually helping me as well. Do you know what I mean? It's setting me up for the right day, because I'm telling you now, if I don't start my day like that with my gratitude lists and whatever, mate, I'm in my head to the point where I can't even focus. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, but I'll be honest with you, like, I've tried everything. Like, I've done things the wrong way. I've done things, my interpretations, I've done things of like the right way. And then I've run on ego a lot as well. So like, I'll be honest, when the Sweat things kind of started, it was kind of like an ego thing at first. I did generally want to help people, but I think a lot of it was ego based. I think originally it was because it was like, oh God, I just want to do more stuff and have my face, and do you know what I mean? But like it's now, a bit
gratuitous, like so you getting something from it, self-serving.
Yeah, self-serving. Like, but as obviously we've progressed into this and got further into this now, like I generally like get a buzz from helping someone, and I know you do as well. Like we generally get a buzz from seeing someone shine at their full potential. I've got a lot of friends as well who I've seen have that full potential and shine, and then slowly start falling back into like their old ways and old patterns, and then wondering why their life's a mess. Do you know what I mean? Like, when it's kind of frustrating as well, because it's like you know how like they've got so much to offer as even just down to their personality, like, and kind heart, but you just think, fucking just like knock it on the head, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Is that, you know what it's like, mate, that monkey on your shoulder.
Yeah.
It can really do damage. You've been there, I've been there, like, and it's good. But I love though, because if you have one thing that I'll hands up, mate, you've absolutely smashed it with, and I really appreciate you with running this with me, because of you've allowed me to take a step back when that sort of thing, to focus on the business side. And you have got, and every time I check in, I'm like, I'm really sorry. You say the same thing. You're like, don't be fucking stupid, mate. I know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
I know you're there when I need you. But I've got this, like, proud of what you're doing and stuff, and I really respect it, man. And I love the fact you've done that, because you are consistent. The WhatsApp group is every morning without fail. You're always in it, maybe one or twice, but then it depends what you've had going on the night before. If you're busy in the morning, but you're always doing the socials. You're active everywhere, mate, and that keeps everything alive. Whereas if I was doing this with somebody else, they would probably sit there and get resentful, like, Russ ain't putting in his weight, he ain't doing this. But I get that.
We're a team, mate. That's what you
but
do.
You see it that way, mate, and I love you for doing
and
that.
you do all the stuff I don't want to do, so this is a perfect 50-50, really, isn't it? Like, you do all the technical.
I'm like, you're the networker. I'm the grey sludge underneath, and that. That's what I am. You open you take the necktie off, mate, and all the grey sludge spews out. That's me.
Well, it is one. Somebody asked me this the other day, actually, right? Checking in on your pals, yeah? Mental health check-ins. Like, how the fuck do you start one of these conversations without sounding awkward? This is what someone asked me the other day. Like, how do you check in on someone without sounding awkward? Or
without it sounding like you're trying to unload something onto them or something?
Because I'll be honest with you, that's what I've found. Is like, how have you get on, mate? And then you tell them, and they go, oh, well, with me, it's a little bit like, and it's like they've just set up a little window for themselves to unload.
Yeah, no, I get that, because I haven't wanted to reach out to people for that, or see how people are getting on. It's a difficult one. How do you do it without being awkward?
Yeah.
I don't know, mate.
That's what I mean. It spun my head as well when someone said it. I thought, do you know what? I think just be straight up down the line, innit? And just say, look, I'll be honest with you, mate, you're acting a bit like a weirdo in a minute.
Yeah, like, you ain't yourself. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Talk to me. And if you ain't going to talk to me, just know I've got a set of ears that are ready to listen whenever you are ready to talk. But don't bottle it up.
Yeah. Well, that's why I put the stories out. Like, if I get a bit of free time, I'll put the stories out saying, look, I've got my phone on me, send me a message if you want to have a chat. And I'll be honest with you, when I do that, sometimes it's fucking overwhelming, mate. There's so many people that will message and be like, this is going on. And you don't realise how, like there's so many broken people out there. Like, do you know what I mean? And
Everyone's fighting their own battles.
yeah,
mate,
and it's getting
battles
worse.
You don't
though.
even know.
It's getting worse as well. Like, and there's so many different angles that you can take. Like with me, obviously, when I packed in like the drink and the drugs, I went through so many different levels of like validation. Like I went through the stage of like sleeping with as many girls as I could, chasing that like some like dirty dog, and then I got lost in the music, like to the point where every weekend I was
chasing bookings
every weekend.
booking.
I was everywhere at one
Staying
point.
in a hotel here,
And again,
this,
that again, when you do that, you attract another kind of female. Not like so. Then you're just opening up another can of worms with that. And then it was, then I went on this mental health journey with you, and I got lost in that. And I feel like there's always been one thing after another with like, do you know what I mean? And like now, that I've put,
faith.
yeah. Well, now that I've put
this,
everything down, and I can finally say this is the happiest I've ever been. Like I'll be, like, I feel actually content with my life for once, and I'm not chasing nothing now. I'm happy, like with just what I've got. And at the point before, it was like I've got to get this, I've got to do that, I've got to do this. He's doing this, so I need to do that. And now I don't even feel that anymore. I feel like a level of peace that I cannot even describe.
Because you always chasing it, because you're like, right, once I've got that, I'm going to feel that peace.
Yeah.
You ain't got it, so you search for the next thing. It's the same with the drink and drugs. You're chasing.
Yeah, you're constantly chasing
You're
it.
chasing it, mate. And that's something what people don't understand that don't take drugs or don't drink, right? Is you don't doing it just because you want to have a good time. It starts that way.
Yeah.
It starts that way and stays that way for a long time, but then all of a sudden it almost flicks a little switch, and then it gets worse and worse.
With
and you end
me,
up chasing.
With me, like I think a lot of it. This is like when I was running, when we were talking about ego and stuff. I was running on ego, like, and when I first got myself into the rooms, and I was clean for like nearly 3.5 years. And all this, and everyone was going to me, you're fucking smashing it, Giz, you're doing this. And then like, it kind of builds you up to be like, yeah, I am fucking smashing it. And then you start doing mad things, like you start going to places where everyone's taking drugs, and then you're still not doing it, and because you're still getting that ego boost of people going, oh, I wish I could do what you're doing, da-da-da. But then what happens with that is, eventually that stops. All the comments and all the pats on the backs and all the well dones, that stops, and then it just becomes normal. And then you haven't got that boost anymore. And that's when I start slowly declining again. But then...
Do you think that's because of you want them again, so you maybe, I'll relapse and then I'll...
I don't know. I just feel like you think, well, I'm not getting that boost I was getting before now. Like, it's ego. It's all ego. But now, I'm at a place now where I don't feel that anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Show me a man, and I'll show you an egotistical maniac, mate, because we're all the same.
Yeah.
Like, hands down, we're all the same. Why do you think I got into the line of work I did, right? Because it was all about, and it weren't like Wolf of Wall Street that bad.
Flashy cars.
But my first taste of that recruitment was, it was next level, mate. It was busy office, everyone's swearing at each other on the phone, throwing shit at each other across the office, people sniffing lines out of drawers on Tuesday mornings and stuff. Everyone's going, like, but money was being made. That was what money sounded like. And it's all ego. Who's the biggest biller this week? I'll build 30 grand.
Yeah, who's got the biggest cock?
Yeah, that's it. Whose dick's biggest this week? But that's what it is. You chase that ego because you are egotistical. We're all egotistical. And or the same thing with the music. Like, you want to be the best. You always chasing somebody to be, for lack of a better term, on your dick, mate.
And that's why I've took a step back from the scene a whole, because I still love it and I still love the music, but I just feel like I'm at a place now where I want to do a bit more conscious stuff, and I want to do a bit more stuff with a bit more substance. Do you know what I mean? Like, where I'm actually I'm not just sitting there saying I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, which is pretty much the majority of an MC's arsenal, really, isn't it? Like, I'm the best, da-da-da, which is that's what it is, isn't it, really? And that's why people go, because they want to see that energy. Yeah. But I'm at a place now where I just want to sort of write a bit more, not wisdom, but like I want if I can reach someone and maybe help them with something, I feel like what we're doing and what we're talking about now and what we're pushing out there, I feel like that needs to be incorporated into music more.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, there's a handful of artists that do it, really. Do you know what I mean?
But I think you would smash it at that. I've always rated you as a wordsmith, mate, ever since back in the Kidbrook days and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
We used to read out bars that you'd written like 3-4 years
you just
before.
gave me a mad flashback when you talk about Kidbrook. Were you about the fucking house with Craig I used to live in?
And Dutch.
And Dutch.
Ah, man, check it.
He was when he like a Hell's Angel or something.
Yeah, he was American.
Like, I used to rent this room, right, in Kidbrook, like, and the house was the maddest house ever. I had a little old Jamaican lady next door to me who used to cook me nice food.
What was her name? Mrs.
G.
Mrs. G.
Yeah, she's like, me got some food. She was lovely, man.
But
then you had downstairs, right? You had this guy, Dutch. Like Dutch was a legend. He used to, and he had a Harley Davidson, and I remember.
He'd rock up like 2 a.m, mate.
He just skid it across the street, and then you'd open the door in the morning, and his bike would be upside down or something. You think, oh, he's just coming drunk, right? And then there was Craig as well, like this guy. He never used to lock his door, and he was this big.
It's the only. Can I say it?
Yeah.
Craig, if he ever sees this, I love you, mate, and I always did love you, but the only fat crackhead I've ever come across.
But he was the
nicest guy. He'd give you the shirt off his back, mate. He would give you the shirt off his back. Absolute lovely guy.
He never used to lock his door, right? And when me and Russell, we'd be
what are you going to talk about?
Me and Russ used to drive around and doing whatever we was doing at silly o'clock in the morning. Back in the day, and we'd come in at like 3-4 in the morning and that, and I'd be like, "Shh, be quiet." But then Russell would look at me and be like, "Should we do some Craig dares?" Because we knew that he never used to lock his door. So then we used to come in. Like, and he never used to, so we used to open the door and we used to see how many things we could put on his head and that when he was asleep, and he'd snore, didn't he? Like, it was the loudest, like proper snore, like, and then we'd sit there and we'd just cover him in what, like, it could be food, it could be anything. But then it was like, I remember once, I think, did you have a wet flannel or something? You just launched it at his head.
No, do you know what it was? It was tissue. You know, you used to put wet the tissue.
Yeah, Oogie Bombs.
Yeah, dashed it in his head, mate, and it fucking splattered across his head. I feel bad about that, to be honest, because he was such a nice guy, but we was all just like, again, egotistical, edging each other on, like, who can do the weirdest shit.
Craig, we love you. I hope you can hear this, by the way.
Made some great jerk chicken, mate, Craig.
Yeah,
he was raised by Jamaicans, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was raised by Jamaicans. That was how many years ago was that now, would you say? That was a long time ago. We must be going on like 17, 18 years. Right, while we've got this little section now, what we're going to do, we've got this new section and we're going to call it sweat checks. Should we do a little sweat checks?
Sweat checks.
No, you got to do a little cheesy sweat checks. Like that. Sweat checks.
Sweat checks.
Right, so basically, they're voice notes from people in the WhatsApp group. But we're going to get into this. I've got some good questions, actually, some of these.
Right, yeah, we'll do a little
and we haven't
a little segment.
I haven't listened to the majority of these, so I need to be careful that there's nothing. We can always edit it, though, can't we, things? So
make sure I answer them correctly. How are we going to answer? You going to both give our take on it, or what?
We could just organically just flow with it, do you know what I mean? So the first one is from Jake from Bishop Stortford.
Big up, Jake.
If there was one thing in your life that you could go back and change, what would you change?
That's
Do you want to answer this one?
No,
first?
you go with that one.
One thing I could go back and change?
Yeah, that's hard, I think, that one.
Nah, for me it ain't, right? I have always been a firm believer of I am who I am today because of the things I've done.
Yeah.
So
that's what I mean. So how could you change something?
So there's something that I would change, and it's about what I've done with the business and stuff. I would have started this if I could go back before I bought a house, before I had children and a mortgage and all that stuff. I would have started a business then. And because of I was, you know, there weren't so much riding on it. I would have done this then. I wish I could go back and do it then.
Yeah.
But to be honest, that's the only thing I'd change with how I've done anything, because of everything and every decision I've made in my life has led me to this point. And like what I mean by that is like with the woman I'm married, with the children I have. But if I'd started that business, I was already with Amy at that point. You know, before we bought the house. I wish I could have done that, because I feel like life would have been. It might not have been, because that was pre-COVID. You know, COVID might have striped me right out.
This is what I mean. I feel like when you say that, like, you could say, if would there anything you change? I could look back at it and say, yeah, I wish I'd maybe done a little bit better in school. Yeah. But then I think, but then if I'd done a little bit better in school, I wouldn't have done all the fuckeries that I did outside of school, and I wouldn't have gone through all these shit, and I wouldn't not be the person I am now.
That's what I mean. And everything I've done has made me the person I am. Everything I've been through.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, that was Jake from Bishop Stortford. Thank you for that question.
Yeah.
All right, next up we've got James G. Large yourself up,
Yes,
Jamesy boy.
James.
James
Love you
is
long time.
a fully fledged admin now in the
Yeah,
WhatsApp group.
James is one of the best fucking admins you're gonna come across.
Let's get into this, shall we?
All right, Giz. All right, Russell.
All right, James.
How you both doing? Hope you're doing well. Big ups to the Sweat Gang as always. Each and every time, love you lot.
Come on, James.
So, the question I wanted to ask you lot was, how do you know when you're doing the right thing? How do you make decisions? Like, how do you gauge when something's the right thing? I'm constantly having battles with myself. I'm so indecisive. My head is constantly battling with my heart. Got constant battles going on in my brain. So, yeah, just wondering what your guys' thoughts are on that. What do you use? What tool do you use to make decisions?
I can answer
Interested
that
to know.
one. I can
Cheers,
answer
guys.
that one.
Big
Well.
ups.
Thank you, James. You legend.
Big up, James. Right, I'm gonna give my take on this because of he now on the head. So he said he constantly battling his head and his heart.
Yep.
So in that situation, this is what I always do. And genuinely, because I have exactly the same, I'm so indecisive. My heart says one thing, my head says the other. What do I trust? I trust my gut. That's what I do.
Yeah, so you go with your gut.
Yeah, so fuck the head, fuck the heart. What is my gut saying?
Yeah.
What is my gut feeling? And genuinely, that's people say, what do you like? And my gut feeling is usually the first thing I think. My brain is me overthinking. My heart is me thinking with emotion, right?
Yeah.
So what is my gut thinking? Because that was the first thing I felt, and that's what I go with.
Yeah, and
that takes a lot of the responsibility out of that thought process or the thought decision making process for me. That helps you, James.
Go with your gut.
Yeah,
that's what they say.
What about you? Come on, you got to answer something. I want your response.
To be fair, I'm the worst decision maker ever. Like I always have been. Not with little decisions. Little decisions I can sort of be quite militant with, but when it comes to like a big decision, sometimes it will take me weeks, mate. Like, and I've really got to fucking stew on it. Like, and so with me, I think it is just go with your gut in the end, isn't it? Like, so James, if you need to make a decision, mate, just go with your gut. Obviously,
genuinely,
or speak to someone who's in that.
If you ever want to reach out to me, for instance, because of what he tells me, it will be my gut feeling on it. Because I'll think about it from I say, if you're battling between your head and your heart, your head's always, your brain's always saying it's going to overthink it. It's going to think about a million things. Your heart's going to think with the emotion side of things. But when you had that first, whatever the predicament is that you started having that battle about, your gut feeling would have been you would have felt the gut feeling. Always go with that. But if you problem shared is a problem halved, mate.
Yeah.
So always lay it on somebody else if you want a second opinion.
Right, next one we've got Nathan.
Big up, Nathan.
If you're feeling like life's too much, what do you turn to?
Right, for me that's an easy one now because obviously I'll turn to God and I'll pray. Before.
It was drugs.
It was drugs.
It was always drugs.
It was always drugs.
That was the problem solver.
Yeah, pretty much.
Got a problem. I'll get on it tonight. I'll go and have a couple of beers.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. But that was always that way.
Yeah.
So what do I do when it all feels like it's a bit too much? Do you know what? It's such a cliche thing, but I'll sit there and I'll take a minute to like look at my children or something. Something that calms me, something that brings me back to earth. Like I did it the other night. I think I posted it on my socials actually. I was having a bit of one of them moments and I was worrying about the bills, I was worrying about this, and I was like, I went in, Aston was asleep in his bed, and I went and just watched him for a minute, watching him sleep, the calm rise and fall of his chest, all that, it brought me right down. So that's what I do when it all gets a bit too much. If you haven't got children, something that makes your
if you haven't got children, don't look at other children. Don't do that
especially don't go into their room at night and look at them when sleeping.
Don't do that.
No, but genuinely, like if you got a pet or something, like something that makes your heart warm. Like something
fully.
where you feel the warmth in your chest, something that you love. Always go back. If you feel like it's too much, always focus on something that you love.
Yeah.
Genuinely, like that's what helps me.
And it's because it's sort of like nothing else matters, then, is it? And
that's what I mean. Yeah. Everything else fades away because you realise, and like you sit there for me the other night when I was doing it all them bits, I was like, that's why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
You know, everything else, everything will be all right. Just keep doing what you're doing and everything will be all right. You stop stressing about it.
So that was fucking beautiful, that was, mate. I like that one. Right, next one, we've got a good friend of mine. You know Tom as well.
Oh, yeah.
This is,
Yes, Tom.
If you're feeling like life's too much,
No, that's not Tom. That's
Nathan again.
That's Nathan. Nathan, you got a double.
You got a
double whammy.
Double whammy there.
Yeah, so not really got much humour to it, but a few years back, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, I had a big old panic attack and didn't really know how to deal with it. But yeah, I still don't. I've never had one since, but still don't really know how to deal with it. And didn't know if anybody had any sort of advice on that sort of side of things. If they do get affected by panic attacks.
So I can.
But by the way, that wasn't Tom.
No, I was going to say it didn't sound like Tom.
That was Phil. That was.
Right.
That's a message from
Okay.
Phil.
I'm going to throw an answer out to this because I had a couple panic attacks, but mine was always when I was stoned, and always something would draw me into a thought process that I'd go and a spiral on, and it was always around what humans are, what we are, what life is like when you actually break it down, like. And I'll sit there and I'll be like, what is everything? And that would, even now with a sober brain, like it still throws me a little bit. But what I would have to do was stop dead, try and breathe through it, but remind myself, you are having a panic attack. Everything is
not real.
Yeah, this isn't real. It's a panic attack. The more you fight it, the worse it's going to get. Try and breathe through it and just accept it. And there's the rule, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 rule. That you get, and I'm going to pull my phone out.
Yep.
And I'm going to find it quickly.
You look at 5 things in the room.
Something you can see, something you can smell, something you can taste, something like that. Hold on.
And again, it's just taking your mind off the actual panic attack.
There we go. Look, 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. And what that does is it forces your brain out of the danger loop and then brings you back into the moment.
There you go.
Which is exactly what you do.
So, Phil, give that one a go next time, mate.
Yeah.
Let's hear that one. Right, now we've got a message from Tom, not Phil.
Yeah, just want to show some appreciation, really. Sweat, speak with emotion and trust. I think it's wicked what you boys are doing, waving the flag for the average Joe. Do you know what I mean? It's okay to not be okay sometimes, and men don't really have a safe space to vent out their feeling a lot of the time, you know. But what I want to ask you boys is, how do you start your day with eradicating negative thoughts? Like, what is your routine in the morning? Because that is the key, really, to setting yourself up for the day right. Do you know what I mean? I've like mental struggles and that. Usually I'll do meditation and stuff here and there, but what would you say to the average listener to help them with starting the day positively? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, again, boys, enough love and keep doing the do.
Right, with
Big up, Tom.
Meditation does work massively. Meditation and prayer, I cannot say anything of. But let's be honest. Who's got time for a 45-minute lay down before they start work? Let's be honest.
Nobody's waking up to do that either.
No, that's what I mean. So there's obviously that works if you're doing that during the day, or if you have got time, you can get up a bit earlier. That's bang, you're sweet. Do it. Do you know what I mean? But like with me personally, starting the day with prayer, starting the day with gratitude, actually writing down the things. Russell, you're fucking advocate for this as well, because I'll see your gratitude lists are amazing, mate. Like writing down 5 to 10 things of things that you're just grateful for. Like could be silly little things like I'm grateful for my coffee this morning. I'm grateful that we had this chat a little while ago. And so we all get in, like everyone gets inside their head at something, and they fucking poor me, innit? Like, oh, I've got to get up early, I've got to do this. Everyone's guilty for the poor me thing. But what we don't realise is we get to do those things. We get to wake up, we get to have a coffee, we get to fucking earn money, we get to do these things. And that's, once you sort of put that into your life, you can sort of think, yeah, do you know what? Yeah, I am tired, but I get to wake up and do this. Yeah. Like I get to wake up and kiss my missus on the cheek. I get to kiss my kids.
And you've got to have in your brain, you've got to have this trigger thing that when you start those thoughts, you've got to trigger that and go, no, I get to do this. That's the thing. Like when I was saying, when I'm struggling with sleep and I'm all broken, I'm like, my sleep's broken. I'm tired because I get to be a father to 2 young boys. He's you know, I get to to be their comfort. That's why he's coming into us in the night, because me and his mum are his comfort. I get to do that.
You get to do these things.
Yeah, I get to do
And
it.
it's so easy to forget that we're
because that's focusing on negative.
We are so lucky. Like we are so lucky. Like, and there's people in the group that have lost their children. There's people and like
don't get to see their
don't get to see their kids for whatever reason. Like, but
would love to have kids and don't have them.
So we just have to remember how lucky we actually are, and to be fair, that is the best way to start your day without any negativity,
and
which is easy. Like when you write it down, but it's easy we can say this like, oh, we just do this, just do that. But let's be honest, who's actually doing it? And that's the thing.
And two things that I'd say is do it consistently and write them things down. Don't just think them, write them down, put them out. Whether you're putting them on paper, whether you're writing them into your phone, but do that and read them back to yourself.
Yep.
So that's what you say. Those gratitude, that little gratitude list. Write it down, say it out to yourself. And do that consistently, and that consistency is the best way to start your day. Do the same thing every day. You do that with, like you said, every day you're in the van, you're doing the same thing consistently because it helps you. Yeah. That's exactly what it's about.
That's my routine, yeah.
And another thing that one of us has just said is another thing that I like to do is positive affirmations.
Repeating it.
Yeah, even for me, that's the one that Rob Icy told us, and I still repeat.
Large up, Robert Icy.
Yeah, 8:30 every morning. I've got an alarm on my phone that says affirmation time. And I say the same thing. And the one that I start with is the Rob one. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuing basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuing basis. We're going to get Rob back on.
That's mad that you can say, that's how I know that you've incorporated. Like, we had this conversation before on, I think, the first pod, and we're saying basically you talk something into existence. So, like, an affirmation could, like, what you're saying there about, like, earning money and whatnot. And I remember we had this conversation saying back in the day when you used to get nicked, and then it was like you'd make up this story.
You'd
make up this story when you go back for the second interview, and then you'd repeat it, and in the end you just think to yourself, I'm actually innocent.
Yeah. So the thing is, as you're repeating, you're visualising what had happened as well. Like, and it didn't even happen, but it's the same thing. Because I'm doing these affirmations, I'm thinking about the clients I'm working with.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about them paying and stuff like that. Yeah. And that's how things do work that way.
Yeah.
Like,
and I suppose that ties...
Everything started with a thought.
I suppose that ties in as well with what we were saying about, I get to do this, I get to do that, because you're telling yourself. Like, somebody told me as well, like, you know, like, sometimes you could have a day's work. Like, for someone listening now, like, go home and you'd be like, oh, fuck, the train was late, da-da-da. But all you're doing there, you're highlighting all the negative things that have happened in the day. Where somebody said to me once, right, before you go to bed, get a bit of paper and write down all the good things that happened during the day. Like, could be silly little things, like you got a smile from a stranger or something like that. And rather than look at the negatives, you look at the glimmers.
It's forcing you to think about the positive stuff.
Yeah, and that immediately will put you in a better mood.
And another thing my dad always said is little things like you say about the train being late or anything. He said, like, if you're driving towards traffic lights and you see them lights are green, and you start thinking to yourself, oh, I need to make them lights before they turn red. So what you're doing is you're instantly putting stress on yourself. That's instantly, you're stressing yourself out straight away. Because if those lights change, right, then you're fuming at it.
Yep.
If you're driving, if you're not even paying attention to them, and you go up to, and you didn't realise the lights were green, and then they change red, well, you just got to a red light. So, but you got to stop focusing on that sort of stuff. I don't know. It's a difficult one for me to articulate. Right. We'll come back to that one.
Yeah, so that was from Tom. Right, we'll finish off with the last one now.
Yeah.
This is from a very handsome Hungarian man called Christoph. This one's from, and he's I've known Chris for quite a while. So let's see what Chris has to say.
Basically, when I was younger, I mixed with the wrong crowd. I had loads of bad friends, got me involved in drugs, fighting, all sorts. I did get out of it in the end, but it was quite hard of a struggle. So I don't know if anyone that's listening to this might have a struggle of being in a bad group. So I don't know if you've got any advice on that sort of thing.
That's actually a good one, to be fair, because that's like perfect because of where we've come from. I was going to say,
we were the bad group.
We were the people your parents warned you about.
But no, you... fair play for getting away from it all. First off, like, congratulations, well done, because it ain't easy.
No, it's not. It's not at all.
Especially if you're kind of deep in it. It's hard because we've both done that. We're both different people to what we were 20 years ago.
When I was younger, I looked for love in all the wrong places. Like, I was just chasing like well, I just wanted to be appreciated, really. And when I say hang around with a bad crowd, it was bad, mate. Like I was very young, and I got basically forced to do things I didn't want to do, because I was sort of bullied into it in a way.
Drumming yards and that.
Yeah, but drumming people's houses and robbing people and doing all these things that I didn't really want to do, but I felt like I had to do it.
But because you were getting acceptance from the people that you looked up to and the people that you wanted that love from.
And that's we've done a lot of shameful and disgusting things. And because for a fact as well, Russ, that when we were growing up, like everyone had like their name, right, and your name. So I was Gizmo, like you were Beep, like, and there was so all
I weren't actually Beep.
Yeah, Mr. Beep.
Yeah, people didn't know me. Oh, I'm sick. What's going on, Beep?
But
anyway.
And then basically when we were growing up, it was like you had your name, and you wanted to be this person that everyone knew about. Like I wanted
the reputation. I
wanted to turn up to house parties, and I wanted people to say like "fuck Gizzy's here," like, do you know, and then that's what you thrived off it, like, and that's.
Or you go into a manor, like for me, if I go into a manor, I didn't really spend much time, and someone would be like, "What, you're so and so?"
Yeah.
Like that's it. It was that the bravado, innit?
But then looking back at it now, the people that I was looking up to, and the people that I thought were like, the boy, mate, like they were not the kind of people that you need to be looking up to. I was looking at, we had all the wrong role models growing up, didn't we? Like we had, like I can't say too many names because it's obvious, but like there'll be someone there was two guys that I knew back in the day that were they were ruthless for it. They'd go onto the southeastern trains, and they'd hold up the whole train carriages with blades and just rob every single person on the train.
But you'd hear
with
about
masks.
that and you'd be like, oh.
And then back then, that's the kind of shit that used to make my dick hard. I'd be like, fucking hell, them boys have just done this, da-da-da. But then looking back at it now, I think, what the fuck were we doing? Why were we with these people?
And the thing is, people say, oh, London's fallen now and all that.
It was always bad.
It was always grimy. You just weren't looking in the right places to see that.
I personally think now, like people say, oh, it's worse now. It was bad then.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is
we didn't have social media.
And like we didn't have smartphones, and not everyone was walking around with a decent watch on their wrist and stuff. That's why, because all that sort of stuff, people walk down the road with smartphones. It's easy pickings.
Yeah.
But how many times did you used to get your hat swiped because it was easy pickings?
Or your Nokia.
Yeah.
Your Nokia 5110. Give me that.
Or even better, that was the best weapon, mate. You used to back someone
a brick, mate.
Yeah, you used to whack someone in the mouth with that, pop their lip wide open.
It was a brick. So like it was when we were younger, it was climber fit hats, Nokia's
character socks.
So
Winnie the Pooh, if you could get them.
Yeah, like I remember I used to rock a fake academic tracksuit because I couldn't afford academic.
Yeah. I had fake Visu jeans.
I couldn't afford academic back in the day, and I remember there Lewisham Market.
Lewisham.
Yeah, Lewisham Market. Yeah. And do you know what? They used to go down this little alley bit, and then they used to sell all the moody academics and all the moody Visus.
One in Woolwich as well that I used to get all my bits.
But
from.
it used to be next to a fishmonger's, yeah. So like you put the tracksuit on. And you just pong of trout.
So like you come out of Billingsgate.
Yeah, like, but then, so for anyone who's in that at the minute trying to get out of it, you've just got to make your own way in this life, mate. And then you'll make your own decisions, and then you'll learn from it that.
One thing I'll say is, and it's easier said than done for a lot of people, because especially if that is your circle and that's all you know, cold turkey, cut everyone off, go a new direction. Only you can make yourself do that. But you are what you surround yourself with. They say you surround yourself with 5 millionaires, you'll become the sick.
Yeah.
You surround yourself with 5 drug addicts, you'll become the sick.
But also, right, there's someone that I know. This was years ago, and he got bad on the drugs and stuff, and he got bad, and he was like, I need to just get away. Right?
Found wherever he went.
So then he went. He was like, I'm going to go to Wales and sort my head out. Right.
One of the worst places. Right,
and I
it's
thought,
bad.
Okay,
over
fair
there.
enough, because he doesn't know anyone in Wales.
The valleys and that. It's all heroin.
So he went there within a week. Yeah, it turned out he'd flipped a van on the motorway and he'd been barred from so I thought, you've just took your madness to Wales. Like,
no, but I mean, Wales is not great for it as well. It's the places where there ain't really much to do.
You can't run from your problems. You can't.
Yeah, this is exactly it, mate. You'll be the same out there. Your roots are your roots, mate. If you're if you're a scallywag, you'll be a scallywag no matter where you are.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. But yeah, try and remove yourself from it though. If you genuinely want that, You want to move. You want to move in a different direction, operate a different vibration, different frequency. You need to remove yourself from everyone that's operating on a frequency you don't want to be at anymore. That's the only way you're going to do it.
Because I'm letting you know this now as well. Put it this way: the dealers that were driving about, dropping the packets off back in the day, guess what they're doing now? They're still driving about, dropping packets off to this day. They haven't elevated. They haven't gone to the next level. They're still doing the same thing.
Or they're running a podcast. Had to be done.
Oh, but do you know what? Yeah, I think we're on time. You know.
Well, I don't know. We started a little bit late. I think we've got a couple minutes left.
All right, so should we end it with some interpretive dance?
Hold on, look. We got, what does that sound there? Is that 54?
No.
We've got 5 minutes. There we
We've
go.
got 5 minutes
left. So we're gonna, I mean, it's been good, Giz. I think like we've spoken about a lot. It's probably not as many anecdotes as when our last one we did just us two.
Nah.
But is there anything that we could say that?
Well,
anything we could bring up from?
Do you know what? Somebody was telling me the other day that obviously drink and alcohol makes them do fucking crazy things, and there's a lot that ties in with sleep apnea, right? You know, like when you fucking sleepwalk and stuff like that. Well, I don't know about
Well, sleep apnea is not that. Sleep apnea is when you stop breathing in your sleep. That's what took Mike.
So what's the word that I'm looking for when you sleepwalk? What's the technical term for that? Just sleepwalking.
I think so. Yeah.
So
sleepwalking is disturbed sleep. You
so
have an altered state of REM sleep.
Basically, this guy was telling me a story about how he drunk too much after a night out, and he went home, and his girlfriend found him pissing on the top of the stairs in his house with his trousers down. And then I thought to myself, that's something that I probably would have done back in the day. But then it come into my head. We were years ago, we used to go around this bird's house. I'm not going to say her name, but just to have a party after a night out or whatever. And I remember I laid down in bed.
We shared a bed.
Yeah, but I didn't know we shared the bed.
But we was all twisted and that. 'Cause it was one of them things. Everyone just gets where they
So
can. If you see a space in the bed, you took it.
So I laid down next to this woman. I'm not going to say her name. And then I fell asleep before anything could have happened. And then I woke up and I felt someone laying down next to me. So I thought it was her. So I've started sort of rubbing her and in the sexual manner. And it wasn't a woman that was next to me. It was Russell.
Can I say from my point of view, I'm laying there asleep. The next thing, her hands come up my top. Yeah. And it's like that. And I was like, Giz! Fuck you doing?
And do you know what? It was like the realisation, it was like a fox in a headlight. Mate. I was like,
do you remember that? Because I sat on the end of the bed, bruv. I felt violated. I was like, I'm going to get up now. Bruv, that was funny. That was funny.
But
that's what it does to you.
It makes you touch your mates up. No, but I generally thought I was laying down next to her. And I felt, as soon as you went Giz, I felt like,
oh. That's what I felt like when because the thing is, you imagine you're twisted as well, yeah? Oh. And you managed, it took me ages to get to sleep in the first place. It's a bit of a weird sleep and that. And his hands come up, but I know I'm in bed with you. So and that's what's thrown me out of my sleep. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? It's the worst. But you just, mate, yeah.
Oh.
Funny times though, mate. We've had some good times. You were just saying about pissing at the top of the stairs. You reminded me, that's why I started laughing. I remember when I was living with my dad, you know my dad, obviously. Everyone knows my dad.
I'd love to get him in here, to be fair.
My dad is a diamond of a man.
Do you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to get all of your brothers and your dads in here. That'd be all.
Well, it's like my wedding, and then my brother's just telling stories about me and that.
I think that'd be a good one, to be
but
fair.
Yeah, I woke up. I was in the box rooms when my dad had gone out for a couple of beers. And I woke up, see the lights. The way the door was at the end of the bed, kind of like that. It was a box room, so I had a single bed in there. And the lights kind of woke me up, and I was like that, and I see a shadow, I feel something on my foot.
Yeah.
Hey, fucking Dad's pissing on my feet in the bed. I was like, Dad, fuck are you doing? He went, get the fuck out of the bathroom. That's what. And do you know, until this day, he denies that he did that, mate. Because obviously he had a skinful, and I've somehow made it to my bedroom instead of the bathroom. But yeah, get the fuck out of the bathroom.
I think the wildest thing I've done when I've been intoxicated, there used to be a bar/club in Lewisham called Dirty South.
Dirty South.
Do you remember Dirty South?
Yeah, of course.
Right. And
many a night in Dirty South.
I don't know if the bouncer's watching, right, but he might be. You never know. But I remember I got kicked out of Dirty. This is many moons ago, right? Years ago. I got kicked out of Dirty South for fucking enjoying myself or something. I was just enjoying myself, right?
Masturbating
So
in the toilet.
so the bouncers kicked me out of this bar, this club. I've took it on the chin, got all right, fair enough. I was so annoyed because all my pals were still in there. Because I was drunk, I noticed there was a dead fox on the side of the road, right? I've picked up the dead fox by the towel, swung it round my head like a lasso, and ran at the bouncer. But because the fox had been hit by some kind of a truck or something, it was already half cut. So as I've hit the bouncer with it, the fox just fucking exploded over the bouncer. Straight away, I got in the fetal position and they kicked the shit out of me.
Rightly so as well.
And do you know what the thing? I remember looking up, seeing like to my friends, help me, help me. I'm looking at them, and all I can see is their backs to the window, and they're all going.
They're all enjoying themselves. how the different night panned out.
Yeah, there's just fox blood everywhere, and I'm getting my head kicked in.
Just like, this is the consequences of my actions.
But but the thing is, you're gonna do these mad fucking things, and you're gonna learn the hard way from it, and
Well, there's that old saying, isn't it? Is it when you talk about a small room, couldn't swing a dead cat in here?
yeah, swing a dead fox.
Yeah, he swung a dead fox in Lewisham.
Oh, right. Shall we nip it in the bud then and call it a day?
Yeah, we're going to do some contemporary dance, or are we saving that for the next
We'll
one?
save that for the next one because I'm still working on it. I've got
Well, it's a pleasure catching up with you, Giz. Until next time, we'll have a guest next time.